The land and the river. The dawn sun bled orange across the sky as the mist slowly peeled away from the paddy fields. A faint breeze rustled the bamboo groves by the river, and birds sang softly from the peepul trees, as if the land itself had just stirred from sleep. In the village of Dohar, nestled on the banks of the Padma, another day began, quiet, tender, and burdened with old struggles. Akhtar Ali, barefooted and lean, stepped out of his mud-plastered hut, holding a rusted sickle in one hand and a brass lota in the other. His short, wiry beard was flecked with gray, and his eyes, deep-set and amber, held the weary wisdom of someone who had tilled the earth more years than he cared to count. He squatted by the edge of the pond, splashing his face and murmuring a dua under his breath. Behind him, smoke was already curling from the clay oven where Nazma, his wife, was heating leftover rice cakes. Inside, his daughter, Rokeya, barely 10, was helping her mother sweep the floor with a thatch broom, humming a tune older than the village itself. Akhtar stood up and gazed across the horizon. The land stretched out like a sleeping beast, green and lush, groaning with jute, rice, and lentils. This land was his pride, his pain, and his inheritance. But something had begun to change. The soil, once generous, now protested. The harvests had been weak the last 2 years, and the village whispered of deaths, of zamindars growing crueler, and of white men arriving with papers and promises. Akhtar hoisted a coiled rope and began walking toward the fields. His younger brother, Imran, still a boy in many ways, joined him on the narrow dirt path. The morning sun gilded the tips of their wet hair as they passed other farmers on the same route. Old men in faded lungis, children with scythes too big for their hands, women carrying clay water pots on their hips. "Apu," Imran said, "I heard from Shamsu that some men from the city came yesterday to the zamindar's house." Akhtar didn't respond immediately. He simply kept walking. "They say the men were white," Imran continued, "British sahibs with red coats and a clerk who speaks our tongue. They're making farmers grow neela, not rice." Akhtar's jaw tightened. "I heard. Is it true they force you to sign something?" Akhtar stopped walking. He looked down at the earth. A small patch of jute leaves lay curled at his feet, eaten away by pests. "Yes," he said, "they come with pens and promises. They say they'll give you money in advance, but once you sign, the land is no longer yours. Not truly." Imran's face darkened. The sun climbed higher. The brothers reached the edge of their field, where the rice stalks were still wet with dew. Akhtar knelt, pressed his hand into the soil, and held the damp earth to his nose. "This land smells different now," he muttered. Imran frowned. "How?" "Like it's watching us," Akhtar said quietly. "Like it knows what's coming." Just then a voice echoed down the path. "Ho, Akhtar Bhai!" It was Rahim, an older farmer from a neighboring village, panting as he arrived with a rolled-up cloth in hand. "They're calling a shalish under the banyan tree today. The Gomasta is here. He wants a meeting." Akhtar stood up. "Which Gomasta?" "The one working for the White Sahib, Mr. Cunningham." Akhtar exchanged a glance with Imran. The name was already spreading through the villages like a monsoon fever. Wherever Cunningham went, indigo followed. And wherever indigo grew, hunger followed close behind. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the tree line and the cattle returned home, Akhtar sat in silence outside his hut, chewing on a stalk of sugar-cane. His wife brought him warm rice and mashed eggplant, but he barely touched it. Rokeya curled up next to him, resting her head on his shoulder. "Baba," she asked, her voice muffled by sleep, "why do they want us to grow blue plants?" Akhtar looked down at her. "Because they say blue is worth more than food." He kissed her forehead and looked out at the stars. But in his heart he feared the sky would soon turn blue, not with indigo, but with sorrow. Looking for a fun and simple way to improve your English? In this video, we'll show you how English short stories can help you learn faster and more naturally. Short stories are perfect for beginners and intermediate learners. They're easy to follow, full of useful vocabulary, and great for practicing reading and listening skills. By reading and listening to stories, you'll learn new words in context, understand English grammar naturally, improve your pronunciation and comprehension, enjoy the learning process without feeling bored. Whether you want to speak English more fluently or just enjoy a good story while learning, this is the perfect place to start. Hit that like button, thumbs up, subscribe for more, and let's learn English together.